Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's yet another Wednesday for our Wednesday's conversations. I always look forward to this day because it gives me an opportunity to talk to some people that I do think that are people of purpose, people who are passionate about something and they're changing this world one way or another with their passion. One of the questions I normally ask them is, if you were given an opportunity to do something else, would you? And for the most part, all my guests have been saying, no, I've found where I belong in my life and I will not want to change. So today we're talking to Peter Kawa. He's one of the most hardworking and most prolific players in the Kenyan entertainment industry. I had a phone conversation with him, and of course, probably the output of the phone conversation is not necessarily as good and as crisp as you would like, but I tell you, the conversation is good and it's very beautiful, very interesting. Peter is an award-winning actor, a director, a producer, and an artist manager whose years and chops in acting have seen him lead or be part of impressive ensembles on TV. And recently, he's been part of the cast of an Oscars-bound South Korean 2021 blockbuster film called Escape from Mogadishu. In 2019, he won the Best Director for the feature film Lost in Time. You can actually check it out online when you go to lostintime.film. He's also been behind very many short films under the Film Lab Kenya, and as part of what he does as a CEO of Spearhead Entertainment, he's the brains behind Arts Roundtable Talk Show, Sanaa Talks, and later Sanaa Post, an online arts platform. The artist manager with brands and artists of such renown such as Aziad Nyasena, Celestine Gashuhi, and Peter Kamau, among others, are under his guidance. His mantra in life is pass it on. And today, listen to this conversation.
Welcome to the Life Signatures podcast with Lawrence Namale. Lawrence is a life coach, author, and keynote speaker who loves to tackle different topics on purpose, productivity, and resilience. His mission in life is to awaken all your boundless possibilities available in you. Life Signatures podcast is dedicated to bring to reality every single person who knows that deep down in their gut, there's got to be more to life than this. And now, here is your host, Lawrence Namale.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's Wednesday's conversation here on Life Signatures. And today in the episode, I have a privilege of interviewing a friend, an old friend. And we're going to learn about him. Of course, I've told you about him. We're going to learn about him as much as we can. It's a very real Jamaa right here. All the way from Nairobi, Kenya. Peter, how are you doing?
I'm good, brother Namale. How are you?
I'm all right. It's been years. How long since we met?
That was 2008, 7?
I can't remember. It must be 2000. Yes, 2007,
actually,
somewhere around
2007.
there. Yeah.
That was the first time we met.
Yeah, and we were acting in the play called Mashaka. I remember. You are my.
Punched you in the face.
Yeah, you still remember that? You gave me a real punch. It was supposed to be a fake punch, but you punched me for real, man. Knocked me out.
I was in the moment.
You are in character, acting like the real antagonist.
I was acting as the devil. You were representing the the character of the Jesus Christ.
Yes. My character was Pendo, which means love.
Yes.
And yours was
Mhm.
Mtezi, I think, which
Yes,
represented the
exactly.
devil. Yeah, it's a beautiful. Was that your first time to be on a play or something?
No, I had been on stage plays for a couple of years.
Yeah,
A couple of years, meaning that not all of them were professional.
yeah,
I had started in high school. I think I acted only like thrice
yeah,
for drama festivals.
yeah.
And then after high school, I came and started college, studied information management.
You studied information management.
That is what I was studying.
So let me ask you: is that what you really wanted to do earlier on as a child? What did you want to become? Lawyer, doctor?
I have always wanted to be a lawyer. I had always wanted to represent people who are marginalized, people who do not have a voice.
You
That was my
guy.
dream.
Same here, because
Yes.
those days when we were growing up, guys like you remember we were one party state, and
Yes.
you had guys like Raitu Murungi, James Orengo fighting Daniel Arap Moi. You remember those years?
Exactly.
And so for me, I also wanted to become like a human rights lawyer or something like that nature.
Exactly.
Then it didn't happen
So,
for me.
that's-
Yeah?
Yes. Actually, it's same here. That's what I wanted to learn. But for me, I think what did not happen for me was the fact that my marks could not allow it. My grades did not.
Same here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So my father insisted. I was very inclined towards the arts, even in high school.
Yeah.
I was very artistic, even in languages, and I got an A in literally all my artistic academic subjects.
Right.
I got an A in English, I got an A in fine art, I got an A in what else? History.
Right.
But then my father could not hear any of it. He wanted me to go something serious or to do something that is a bit trendy. And so he and my mother enrolled me into information management, something to do with computers.
Yeah. By the way, I also took the same. I also took the same path. I didn't get the grades.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't get the grades for law. To be honest with you, I think I normally say this. I think I went to school early and to high school. That is, I went to high school when I was 13, and I think it was those days when there were serious guys in high school, big boys and so on. I was a kid, and so I played a lot in high school. I was smart, but I played a lot in high school, and I normally tell people that. When I grow up, I don't want my kids to be pushed so early. This idea of my kid is 5 and is already in class 3. My thinking is that there is no. It's not a competition. Basically, I think there is an aspect of maturity. There's an aspect of maturity in life for a child to take their time and be. Anyway, so in high school, I just joked a lot and I flunked. I did not get the grades to take me to law. And so I ended up at Kenya School of Monetary Studies doing management information systems.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So that's.
But you finished?
No, I did a higher diploma. It was supposed to go up to graduate diploma. I didn't get the funds for graduate diploma, but I did higher diploma, and I stopped there. And that's what I still have up to today.
Now, the interesting thing for me, I think I was almost getting my diploma.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, now I fell in love with acting.
Yeah.
Or should I say I was balancing between acting and school.
Yeah.
Until now, acting kept on creeping into my school schedule every day.
Yeah.
You start with a very balanced half-half. You go to school in the morning and then in the afternoon you go for acting.
Yeah.
But then the acting time started eating into the afternoons, the early afternoons into 11.
Right.
At some point they were like, you know what, we need you here by 9 in the morning.
So they saw your gift, right?
It was actually rehearsals. We were rehearsing for plays that were supposed to be done outside Nairobi.
Okay.
I think you've had things called set books.
Yeah. Which set book were you doing?
Do I remember we did Merchant of Venice.
Right.
we did A Man of the People.
Right.
I remember we did a couple of them actually. Looking for a Rain God.
Yeah. Hey, you guy. Okay.
Yes.
That's quite a lot of
So,
experience in acting right there.
Yes. Yeah. So the interesting thing is when I was still studying.
Mm-hmm.
Now, interesting thing, I did my exams actually.
Mm-hmm.
I did my exams all the way to all the papers until my results came back.
Right.
Now, the most memorable thing I remember is even in class I used to be my lecturer's favorite.
Yeah.
So he loved
in
me
IT.
so much that in IT, yes.
Right.
Because now even when in the laboratory, when he's taking people through the lessons, he would actually send me ahead of himself to go and work with other students before he gets there.
Wow. So you were also
So
good in IT?
Yes, I was.
Wow, okay.
But unfortunately, I failed by 2 points. Million points. So he loved me so much that he organized for me to receive those particular papers.
Right.
On a Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I traveled for my first acting gig out of Nairobi on a Sunday.
You guy, just before you sat for those 2 papers.
Just before.
So hold on 1 minute. You have an opportunity here to
yes.
Traditionally you are raised up to pursue career in the office. They were looking for you to become a systems engineer or a programmer or whatever it is in IT, right?
Exactly.
And that's the trajectory that your parents had prepared for you. So there's a typical opportunity, there's a typical, conundrum here of an artist where your parents have paid the school fees.
Yes.
And now you have an opportunity to go and act. And this is a one-time opportunity with the examinations in the diploma course, right? As in, if you miss this one, it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And so you choose acting.
I chose acting.
Were you scared that there's going to be World War III at your home? When you come back.
Definitely. The beauty of it is my parents by then were retiring.
Yeah.
So they were going back to the mashambani.
Yeah.
In the countryside.
Yeah.
So the advantage that I had is I did not have them on my back every other day. Reminding me that I've done something wrong. If you live with your parents on a daily basis and you come back home every day,
police.
You stopped school, they would murder you.
Yeah.
But the beauty of it, they had already moved back to the what do you call it, to the countryside.
The village, yeah.
So the pressure was a bit, lenient on me.
Right.
Yeah, so when I dropped out, I started earning some small money. Not much, but small enough. But I was very diligent with the money. Every time I would come back home with whatever my earnings, I would bring some big shopping for my mother.
Yeah. Did they know you dropped out?
The rest of the money. They did. They were not happy, definitely.
Yeah.
But
are they happy now?
Like now, actually, the interesting thing is by the time I left school, I've been given opportunities to give talks about career choices, and I have never failed to give this opinion about that decision. But for me, I felt it was the most stupid decision.
Yeah.
It was not a very wise decision to leave school at the very end of it. However, looking back, more than 15 years down the line right now, after all I've achieved, it is not regrettable.
So let me ask you this. When you're giving these career talks to guys, you are telling them from a regretting point of view?
Not regretting. Actually, from a point of it was stupid.
Okay, that they shouldn't do that.
But not, yes, you shouldn't do that. I would advise them not to do that.
Even today, would you advise the guys who are in school to do what you did?
I am a talent manager right now.
Yeah.
And I have 2 clients of mine who are in school, and I advise them to get their papers.
Okay, to go all the way and finish their education and so on.
Go all the way and finish your education. Balance as much as you can. Try and balance as much as you can.
Yeah.
But if you are given a choice to choose,
finish
school first.
Okay, so now you know in the recent past, or even today, you hear those of us who are in the motivational industry telling people, Steve Jobs did not finish high school and Bill Gates dropped out of whatever and so on and so forth. What's your take on that?
Yes. I think I'm not saying that school is important.
Yeah.
But in our African setup, the way things are, sometimes school, you do not go to school to get papers. That is usually my angle. You go to school so that when these lecturers are going through their lessons, they are validating your talent. They are validating what it is that you know within your talents. I may know how to move on stage. I may know how to hold a camera. But if I am in school, the lecturer will teach me to understand why I am actually holding the camera the way I'm handling it.
Yeah.
And they have, facts about what it is that you know.
Yeah.
But now they kind of cement what it is that you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm making sense.
You're making quite a bit of sense, because there's this idea of the practical, how something is done, and this idea of why it's being done, and so on. So school
also,
offers that bit. It covers up on that. It covers the skeleton part. Beefs it up.
Yes, and also the beauty of school also, especially if you're doing something that is slightly not related to your artistic angle.
Yeah.
Like for me now, as much as I studied information management, it actually comes to play a big role in who the artist that I am right now.
Okay, how?
Right now, if I studied information management, I studied computer, engineering and stuff like that.
Yes.
But now in the basic levels.
Yes.
Now, when I'm even handling my clients, all this information that I studied come into play. I do
database.
Database stuff, exactly. Excel sheets. And even communication. Communication and branding yourself. All those things we were taught, when we are studying information management.
I know. I can tell you, by the way, I'm in Uganda right now, and the way I ended up in Uganda, actually, it connects back to IT. I get into this organization that was doing M-Pesa. They were helping Safaricom to do M-Pesa and so on, and I was an IT, basically a data analyst. But my entry into that organization was weird, because they will only employ the guys who have a degree. And they employed the degree guys who had, I don't know what, statistics and so on. And yet the hands-on thing that were needed were for guys who are hands-on like us, who had done diploma, and we actually had practical skills in Excel, Word, PowerPoint, and I'd even taught those things. I'd even done the graphic packages and accounting packages. So it so happened that at some point in time, I used those skills, and my light just shone above everybody else, to a certain extent that when the neighboring country wanted to do the same thing as Safaricom was doing with M-Pesa, they approached the organization, and I was one of those guys who was sent to Uganda because of that particular skill. You get? So I ended up in Uganda not because I had a degree or diploma. I had the skill that I learned from college that catapulted me into that leadership management position. Right, so I get what you're saying, that school is important, and even the mathematics that we used to hate, it comes into play. The remotest things that we used to do, by the way, coming to Uganda, I can trace it to Microsoft Access, because when we were being taught programming, we would use Visual Basic for applications, which is a Microsoft Access. Exactly. So
wow, that is many years ago.
Yeah, VBA. So that is where I did my database programming. And when I went to this organization that was new, I applied that VBA, that rudimentary Microsoft Access programming language, to create a database, to such an extent that the guys at Safaricom House will call and I will just Google, so to speak, before Google even came. I will just put the till number that was needed, and I will give them exactly the information they wanted in real time. Previously, they will call a guy who was doing that stuff, and the guy will hang up. I will tell him, call me after 5 minutes. Then he'll go into the manual books and start looking, But now I apply that VBA thing, and it will just come right there and then, and I'll give them the information to such an extent that they say, this guy, we want to see how he's working, and we want him here in this Safaricom house, either on Fridays and Wednesdays and so on. And that's how my star started shining to my boss. And when the opportunity to come to Uganda came, they could not look past me. So school is that important. The things that we might not.
Edge.
Yeah, it does. It's an added advantage. So you're acting when you said high school.
Yes.
What level really did you start? Is it Form 1, Form 2, Form 3?
Form 3 actually.
All right. But
I had seen people doing some shenanigans at the dining hall.
Yeah.
And I was very interested, but I didn't want to join because I was a very shy boy actually.
Yeah, you're still shy, by the way.
But by the time I was done, just getting interested in what they were doing.
Yeah.
By the end of that particular, I joined the first play. I won my first best actor.
Wow.
At my first stint in Bungoma, I won the best actor in Bungoma.
You were in Bungoma High School?
No, St. Mary's Kibabi.
Ah, yeah, Kibabi. Okay, cool.
Yes. So I won my first award, and I was like, kumbe niko na kitu.
Yeah.
And immediately people just loved me at the next elections they were doing.
Yeah.
I was voted unanimously against my will to become the Secretary General.
Let me ask you, what role were you playing? Was it an antagonist, or what role were you playing?
Definitely antagonist. Definitely antagonist.
But you've been shining in that role. Okay.
Again, I think it's because I tapped into a part of me.
Yeah.
That has, we all have dual personalities.
Yeah.
However good you are, there is always that crazy part that you've always been, suppressing.
Yeah.
So I've always felt like I've always been a good boy to date.
Right.
But there's this naughty side that cannot come out because, I need to be in tandem with the society.
Yeah.
So when I get bad guy roles, I think for me, it's like now I tap into that other side that is never in the public.
In real life, have you been a bad boy before?
No. I think even with my relationships, anyone that I've ever met, I don't think there's anyone who will ever say Kawa is an evil man or Kawa is a naughty guy. Well, ukora haiwezi kosekana, but I don't think anyone has ever looked at me and said Kawa is a malicious guy.
When you say ukora haiwezi kosekana, you mean the cheekiness will not... I
was a very lazy fellow in school.
Yeah.
I was a lazy fellow in school, and if the teacher would get me, the toiletries,
yeah,
I would find my way to sneak out of the whole situation, run back to class, such like things.
Okay, cool. So through and through, you're not necessarily like a villain, so to speak, full-time villain. You're a good person, but now when it comes to acting, you exemplify that role well, and that's the first role you ever did, and you excelled at it.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So now your acting career is launched, and one of the things I normally tell people about purpose, by the way, is that you're going to get hints of your purpose from people. People are saying, for example, for me, people used to comment me on my writing. They will say, for me, it's no big deal, the writing that I've done, but for them, it's awesome. I don't know if you felt that way when they selected you to be the secretary of, was it entertainment?
No, actually, it was drama festival. Drama club.
The secretary general of the drama club.
Yes.
Yeah. So you felt like guys were, when that happened, people are pointing it out at you. What did that do to you?
Well, it gave me legitimacy. I think I never used to believe in myself.
Self-doubt.
Point of correction, not Secretary General, organizing secretary.
Organizing secretary. Okay, cool.
Yes. So I never used to believe, even to date. Sometimes you, even as an actor, you go on stage and you do your thing and you go backstage, you start putting yourself up.
Yeah.
And everyone is like, dude, you're good. So that is what used to happen even back in the day.
Yeah.
That people had already seen it in me. They had seen some little leadership qualities.
Yeah.
But for me, I was like, how can I cannot, I don't think I have the grace to do that.
Yeah.
So until they had to actually force you, they force you into the position.
Yeah.
And then when you are already in there, then you realize, you can hold it, you're already doing it.
Yeah.
Effortlessly.
And then you don't struggle at it. Yeah, that's it. So Form 3...
And that was not the only leadership, I think, that followed me. The same thing Form 3.
Mm-hmm.
I was I used to play badminton as a sport.
Mm-hmm.
I was also put in as the assistant captain.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and so for me, that is where people started noticing that this guy has leadership qualities, and I grew into that.
Mm. Okay, so fast forward, you are in college. How many years were you supposed to take for the diploma?
Do I remember? 2.
2, okay. So you were there, and now you take a trip outside of the country, right?
No, Nairobi.
Outside of Nairobi to go and to do acting instead of doing your diploma. And it works out, isn't it?
It worked out, yes.
When you came back, did you feel like you should have done your diploma, or were you justified? I mean, did you feel good about what happened in that decision that you made?
Well, there is that guilt that was already suppressed in me that I had left school.
Yeah.
But I was on a high. I had done my first stage plays and I had traveled for almost 1.5 months.
Oh, yeah.
The same thing, and I had explored the country,
Yeah.
Today you are in Bungoma performing, and then the next
it was a tour.
The same night you're traveling to Kitui. It was like, it was a tour. So you're traveling between schools.
Wow.
You're traveling from, today you're performing in Kitui.
Yeah.
And then the next day you are in Machakos.
Yeah.
That same evening you travel to Bungoma.
You go from Eastern Kenya, Western Kenya. I mean, it's like yeah. Wow. Awesome. It's
like there's no part of this country that I've not been to.
Because of acting.
Yes.
Wow.
Because of acting.
Awesome stuff. Yes. So now the question that I want to ask you is this. Mm-hmm. Were there guys that you would compete with in your role, and they will give you a run for your money? By
then, I was a very huge fellow. It's not like I was working out, but my body was a bit bigger than most of the guys that you were acting with.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to be given some of these major, powerful guys, a minister role.
Yeah,
you are given a boss. You're given like the man of your home.
Yeah.
So those are the roles that I used to be given. So I did have competition.
Yeah.
And then again, playing the bad guy, we had very few people who would play the roles that I used to be given.
Okay. Yes. Okay, that's a testament to, I think, to your talent and so on. And let me ask you, Mama, Daddy, did they ever tell you that you had that gift of acting or art or something, or for them they were fixated about sciences and so on?
When you see such things, I guess, again, like I said, new Kawa.
Yeah.
Acting, being a creative, it's like you are in quote unquote a rebel.
Okay.
You're always going against the grain. You're always in some corner talking to yourself.
Mm.
You're always, running to the movies to go and watch those Kibanda movies. I don't know if you used to go to them.
Yeah.
You're going to watch Akina Rambo and Commando.
Yes.
I would even steal my mother's money and go and watch such things.
Yeah.
So they were not what you would call tendencies that a parent would be proud of.
I see. So,
yes.
Let me ask you this again. Do you feel like in your day growing up, there was suppression, maybe stigma against what you're doing today?
No. Growing up, there was no stigma. because again, I was not really forcing it upon any person who was with me, my parents and that. So I didn't feel like there was a push and pull.
How about in society at large, compared to today? Because when we were growing up, they wanted lawyers, engineers, doctors, and pharmacists. Actor? Are you kidding me? How about you? Did you feel the same? The society, how was the society then?
That was heavy when I joined now the traveling theater.
Yeah.
Because interesting thing, now when I go to traveling theater, that is when now you start noticing some things about drug use.
Yeah.
Free language use.
Yeah.
There were times when even in the backstage when you're changing, you would actually a girl would just throw off her clothes and put on the next clothes because she's in a hurry to go to the next scene.
Yeah.
So you would see things, and I am sure some of these stories would get to the public, and people are like, these theater people, these artists, they are either lewd, they are drug addicts. And true to form, that is unfortunately how it usually is. So when I got into it, I thought maybe this would be an opportunity for me to see how I can change the perception. Because now, if my parents are fighting me to becoming what I want to be, then my desire should be that I should change that narrative. People should see me as an actor, and they should, I would tell them, I'm not a smoker. I don't drink.
Yeah.
I don't sleep around with girls.
Yeah.
People still would not believe you, but you have to keep drumming it into their heads that, it can be different.
Yeah. But now that you've gone big time into, we're going to talk about that shortly, you've gone big time into film, into the screen, there are some scenes that we see on screen, people making love, kissing, and so on and so forth. How is that handled?
Well, again, when I was starting out, interesting thing, when I remember I started professional acting in 2005, right?
Right.
The tail end of 2005. I got born again in 2006, April.
Right.
So that cemented even my principles even harder.
Right.
And that is where I joined a theater group that helped me, nurture all that.
That's where we met at Better Pill, right?
That is at Better Pill, exactly.
Yeah.
So that traveling, that company, theater company helped me cement my resolve towards, cleaning up what I do.
Clean content.
It gives me a voice.
Okay.
So even as I would act with Better Pill and go back to traveling theater, I would still actually try to enforce. And the beauty of it also, when I was traveling theater, I had been given some leadership roles there also as a stage manager. So I would be given the opportunity to actually talk to people and tell them the do's and don'ts of the company, of the traveling company. So I would tell them no sleeping around together, no smoking in there, no drinking. So such kind of things. And as I was going through that, I would be given opportunities to direct sometimes when the director is not around. So I knew that there were some things that I would not want to go a bit beyond. Or the extremes.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to show people are in love, some eye contact, holding of hands is enough to show you that these people are in love. Instead of now having them throw clothes off and jumping onto each other. Yeah. And that is a mantra that I've held to date.
Yeah, we might have an opportunity to come and talk about that, but maybe if we have time. Because in this day and in this age in society today, there is a lot of, if you've noticed, by the way, there's a lot of soft porn that is no longer soft porn. I mean, it is so out there that if you watched the same thing as soft porn that it doesn't abuse your senses today, if you were to watch it with your great-grandparent...
Man, it will be the most uncomfortable thing.
Serious culture shock. But today it's mainstream, it's daily. A 7-year-old, 2-year-old watches, no big deal. Anyway.
And parents even see to their children as they watch. It is quite sad.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to come back to that. So how long did you do theater, stage plays and so on? How long did you do this?
I remember I started acting in 2005.
Yeah.
I was very consistent with theater all the way to 2020. Actually, as recent as 2018.
Yeah. Okay.
2018, the last play I did, I acted as a cop, as a corrupt, not a good cop who is in a corrupt system.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that was among my few roles that I played as a straight guy.
I see. So let me ask you this. Did you ever take any job outside of job outside of acting to supplement your income and stuff like that? Okay, you had to.
Yes.
Were these jobs that you liked, or it was just a necessary evil?
Necessary evil.
Yeah, I know. But do you think, what would you advise guys who are, you are purposed and you're passionate about something, but the funds are not there, you know how life is, the pursuit of purpose versus putting food on the table and paying your bills. What would you advise guys who are in that conundrum? How do they balance?
I would say start off easy, start off soft.
Yeah.
When you're starting in the acting industry, definitely it will not be a hit immediately. You will not make your first thousands and 10,000 at first. And when the work of the acting is not that demanding, then supplement. Find something that can balance it out as you are, you go and get a day job as you're getting your footing pole into the acting industry. But then when you start, even as you're doing your soft entry into acting, find a way to keep improving your game as an actor. As you're doing your waiter job, as you're doing your mechanic job somewhere, still have more money to think on Google and find ways of how to become a good actor.
Be in character even when you are in your job, so to speak.
Exactly. Go find a book somewhere and keep reading.
Yeah.
To improve your acting.
I see.
So that by the time your big break comes on this other side, when you start developing into a bigger person, success does not find you not shady.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm making sense. So that by the time that opportunity comes, let them find you an already, well-grounded actor. You already know your chops.
You're ready to go.
You know how to move on stage. You know how to get into character. You know how to get your lines.
I see.
You've done enough research. So that by the time this opportunity comes, it gets you ready and you go and it sustains you.
Yeah. Will you
give... If you're not ready, then...
Yeah. Would you give the same advice to just about anyone, not necessarily an actor, maybe a writer, a singer, just about anybody who is a person of purpose?
Overnight.
Yeah.
It does not come overnight.
Yeah.
So every opportunity you get, keep preparing.
Yeah.
You see, I don't know if I'm jumping the gun here, Namale.
It's okay.
2 years ago today, and I'm talking about literally today, 2 years ago, I won the best film director in Kenya with my feature film, Lost in Time.
Yeah. Best film director.
Yes, in Kenya. And the film itself won the best feature film in Kenya.
Yeah.
But people forget that success did not come overnight.
Yeah, it started that day.
It started that time when I was, I started showing interest.
Yeah.
And I knew what I wanted. And I kept telling people that this is what I want. And every time I would get an opportunity to watch a YouTube video on how to direct, I would download that video.
And you go and devour it.
I am seated at my desk right now. If I were to open one particular drawer, it has 7 hard drives.
Wow.
Full of acting and directing and cinematography videos and material.
Wow.
7 hard disks.
This is something that you are teaching yourself. It's not like in a school or something.
Brother, yes, I am on a set somewhere as an actor.
Yeah.
But I have sneaked in with my laptop. The moment that I'm not on set, I will open my laptop.
Yeah.
I will log into the Wi-Fi of that production company.
Yeah.
And then I will start downloading videos.
You guy.
To a point that the internet, the downloading would even slow down the company's internet.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
They're downstairs or upstairs. When they see that their internet is slowing down, they know Peter Kawa is down.
He's around here.
Stuff.
Yeah. Wow.
So I've attended enough workshops.
Wow.
So I was waiting for my big break as I prepared.
So you're learning, I mean, it's basically full mode of learning, self-taught, devouring information about what you're passionate about and so on.
I would rather even go on a set. I would rather go on a set that pays, but sometimes I would even say, don't pay me. I just want to be on that set and watch Raymond Ofula act.
I see. Raymond Ofula is one of your inspiring actors.
I love his work ethic.
Yeah.
If you're supposed to meet in town for pickup at 5,
yeah,
he's there at 4:45.
Wow.
He comes there with his lines. He's very respectful to everyone. And as much as he has done everything, he has actually Angelina Jolie and Akina Jimon Honsu. That brother will still come and say hi to any person.
He's done works with Angelina Jolie?
Tomb Raider. He was on Tomb Raider.
Whoa. So let me ask you this. From the time you showed interest in acting, and from the time, I call it a purpose, by the way, from the time your purpose is revealed that you are an actor, to the time you won the award, of course the award came with some money, I'm assuming. From that time that you started to the time in 2020 or 2019 that you won the award? 2019. Yes. How many years were those?
Of preparing.
Yes, how many years were those?
Since 2007. Let's actually start from 2007.
So 2007 to 2017, that's 10 years. So it's basically a decade and above, right? Yes. I normally, this thing I normally tell people that when it comes to fulfilling your purpose, your purpose is not going to pay you at the end of the month. As in, you start acting today, and then at the end of the month, you really get paid, and you're happy about it, and you've arrived. I normally tell people that you gotta stick with it for years on end, probably a decade. So let me ask you this. Was there a moment in time you felt like this thing doesn't pay, I'm gonna give up on it? Were you in it for pay?
There are moments where it never paid.
Yeah.
Actually, most of those years, it never used to pay until the first time I think I felt like it was paying my dues was 2013. 2013.
That is about 5-6 years after you started.
Yes. All this other time I had been just hustling and preparing and getting your house locked.
Yeah.
Going days without food.
Yeah.
Borrowing.
You find a big padlock by your landlord on your house, and you've been acting.
Yes, and then you have to go and beg.
Yeah.
There was a time in 2011. I was at a rap party with Rita Dominic. Rita Dominic, who was Nigeria. I was at a rap party. I had just done a film with her.
Yeah.
And that evening, I'm at Nairobi Safari Club, eating and drinking, at cocktails and all.
Yeah.
That particular night, the previous night, I had not even slept home because my house has been locked.
Yeah, I know. The hustle. Yeah.
The hustle, brother. So it happens. So in 2013, I got my first major role on a TV series that is consistent.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. How did you transition into TV? How did because I've seen some of this. I've not been in Kenya for quite a while, and so I've not been privy to the local content. Of course, you've seen these days. I'm so happy about local content.
Yes.
You've done some local TV shows, right?
So many.
Yeah.
That I can't even keep count.
Yeah. How was that experience?
I got my first role on a TV show. It was new. It's called Sumula Tenzi. I went for an audition. It was very, the contest was a bit high, the competition.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually the writer loved me so much, and she was like, I think Peter Kawa is the right person for this role.
Mm.
I second guessed myself because it was the first role that I'm getting as a supporting actor.
Mm-hmm.
And I got in there, brother, and me, I just killed it. I killed it, and to date, it's one of my favorite roles.
Yeah.
Here you are newly married. I had just been married 3 months prior.
Yeah.
And here I am now, I'm getting a role to act as a pimp.
Yeah.
And I believe you know what a pimp does.
Yeah. I know. So you killed it, and then did that open doors for you after that?
You get a monthly pay.
Yeah. Stabilization now starts coming in.
It started coming in, and as I do that, I keep showcasing what I'm good at, and people start knocking on my door. I think, Peter Kawa, you can try this. Kawa, you can try that.
Mm.
And since that time, I have never stopped, by God's grace.
So let me ask you this purpose-related question. Do you ever think you'll stop acting or anything to do with stage and plays and films and so on and move on to something else?
The most beautiful thing about this particular career is you will never retire out of it.
There you go.
Because there is no age limit to being an actor.
Yeah.
Because actors, there are even actors who are acting as 90-year-old.
Yeah. You need roles for 90-year-olds. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So now here we go.
To stop me.
At what point in time did you move to bigger shoes and start, I think, writing? You write, right? You write?
No, I don't write.
Right.
I've never wrote. The only thing that I have ever wrote was what I am doing, right? The short film that I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
I'm launching in the next 2 weeks.
Okay. The Medicine Man?
Christmas Love.
Oh, Christmas Love. Yeah. I've heard about Christmas Love. Okay, cool.
I have been trying to write it since 2012.
Okay.
But considering that I'm not a writer, I was just working on what you call the outline.
When you say you are not a writer, I want to pick your brains on that one. When you say you're not a writer, what exactly do you mean? Because language, actually you're good at languages. Yes. So does it require an extra skill, in writing a play or writing a film, a movie?
I think it needs a discipline.
A discipline?
It needs a discipline of research.
Okay.
And studying characters and mannerisms in people.
Yeah.
And now collecting all that information into a linear story.
Yeah.
Now my mind is a bit too. My mind is a vagabond.
Yeah.
It cannot stay in one place for a long while.
Yeah. I get you.
So I don't have that discipline.
I get you. Look, there's a friend of mine that I call Odds. Have you watched the Queen of Katwe? You watched the Queen of Katwe?
Definitely one of the most beautiful films to come out of Africa.
Yeah. So now there's a story out of Uganda, probably more or less the same as Queen of Katwe, but it's very close to my heart. How does someone take that kind of a story and convert it into a movie?
That's a beautiful question. I've had many people approach me on the same line. What I usually say is that develop your influence.
Yeah.
And then once you've copyrighted the story, knock onto a door of any production company.
Okay.
Copyright.
Oh, copyrighted the story.
Yes,
but this is her story. This is her story, as in she lived it, and she got a book out of it. Yeah. So she copyrights it.
So she still copyrights it. So that by the time she's presenting the idea to a production company or to a producer, a producer can still steal somebody's life story that is already written. He can steal it and just pick something. Pick one or two angles on it, and then when you go and say this is your story, they will ask you, is your name Mazenge?
Yeah.
I know you.
Yeah, I hear you.
And someone goes and makes money out of it. Yeah.
I hear you. Okay, cool.
So
now
copyright the whole thing, yes.
Okay, cool. So I'll talk to her about it. So now let's get back to you. You are doing TV shows and so on and so forth. Money is coming in and so on. And then you decided to take a bigger role of directing, right? At what point in time did you consider that you could direct and so on? And who wrote Lost in Time?
I've always been interested in directing. Even as an actor, even back in theater. I remember even in Better Things.
Yeah, I remember.
Sometimes, the likes of Jimmy Gore would step out of the film kidogo, just not available, then they would leave you to take charge.
Yeah.
And I always felt like I would encompass within me a couple of feelings and emotions that I would want to transfer to my fellow actors. And you can only do that when you're a director. If you're an actor, you're already overstepping into somebody's role. And that is disrespectful. Yeah, so I started just trying my hand at directing for stage. The first time I ever directed for TV, it was a pilot in 2013. A friend of mine had seen me direct on stage. And he was like, bro, you're very good with actors. How about you come and try your hand at directing for screen? So I was very a very green fellow. And I remember that time I had been given very veteran actors who used to live in the US, he was a Congolese.
Wow.
He had done some work in the US, Australia, and some parts of Europe.
Yeah.
So here I am directing, and then I come and I tell this director, this videographer, this cinematographer, I want this shot, I want this, I want that. On day 2, he respectfully called me on the side and told me, young man, I see you're very good at dealing with actors. Why don't you stay on that lane? Leave the cinematography to me.
Yeah.
To that, immediately he told me that.
Right.
It was a bit embarrassing, but I thanked him authority that I was trying to, showcase.
Yeah.
I was trying to, look big.
Yeah.
Even when deep inside, I was very insecure.
Yeah.
So he told me, allow me to cover you on the technical angle.
Yeah.
You deal with the actors.
Yeah.
And that began my journey on researching on how to be a good director.
Wow.
Since 2013 to date now, that is why I have 7 hard discs. That day he called me aside. That began my journey of researching and wanting to know more about what he was talking about. Yeah, so that was my journey about now becoming a director.
Awesome stuff. And so you end up at the Film Awards in Kenya in 2019?
No, Kalasha has always been there.
Yeah.
Kalasha is run by the Kenya Film Commission.
Right.
Which is a government agency that oversees filming activities in Kenya, and also just sending Kenya as a film destination to the world.
Yeah.
So they've been running Kalasha since 2007. I'm not wrong. 2008.
Okay.
So they've been there.
So big names that have won this award before are like who?
Someone that I admire very much, Gilbert Lukalia. We've had Judith Binge. We've had Likarion Wainaina. Brian will follow their footsteps.
Awesome. Let me ask you this. On the international scene, who is your best, let me call them black, who is your best black actor? And how do they inspire you?
I love Denzel Washington and Will Smith.
Denzel Washington.
Yeah, Will Smith, yes.
And Will Smith. So Denzel Washington movies, which one stands out for you? Which one is the best?
Denzel Washington movie. I think Man on Fire was good.
Yeah.
Man on Fire. I loved what do you call this? This guy who was shot, revolutionaries in the US. Was in Malcolm X.
Yeah.
Yes.
How about John Q?
Oh, why? Why did I find that one? John Q, yes.
Yeah.
I am not going to marry my son. My son is going to marry me.
Yeah. Remember that line?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great performance. great performance. A man who's put in a very precarious position where he has to sacrifice himself for his son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about Will Smith?
Will Smith, 7 pounds.
7 pounds.
7 pounds stands out for me. Then there was this one where he was acting also as a father. What is it?
In Search of Happiness?
In Pursuit of Happiness.
In Pursuit of Happiness.
Actor.
Right. Actually, he has a book out. I don't know if you've seen. There's a book out.
Yes, I've seen it. The colorful one, yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, in terms of displaying our purpose and deploying our purpose, in the Christian circles, there's this thing they call the 7 mountains of influence. I don't know if you've heard about it. So you are in the mountain of media and arts, is it?
Yes.
Okay. How is your take about what we are doing in terms of local content in Africa?
This is our time. This is our time to shine, and they've already exhausted their stories. They've been revolving around the same stories over and over again, and I think now they're looking towards Africa for fresh material. So, and the beauty of it is Africa has also been finding its voice, so that Hollywood is not coming to find agreed people that they can take advantage of. They are coming to Africa to find partners. I love what Nollywood is doing. I love what South Africa is doing.
Yeah.
Kenya is closely behind. TZ is also doing very well so far.
Yeah.
I love what Uganda is also doing with this young man. What's his name?
Lukman.
He did some. Lukman. I adore that gentleman a lot.
Yeah. What would you tell our young guys who are, looking for jobs and maybe they are in the same category as yourself? They are good, they are talented, they are gifted, and probably there are no opportunities for them at the moment in time. What would you tell them? Because one of the things that we are fighting in Africa is the so-called joblessness scourge. And there is talent. Wouldn't you say that there is talent in Africa?
There is a lot of talent.
And there are stories.
There is a lot of talent.
Yeah.
There are very many stories, very authentic stories.
Yeah.
This is what I would say. This narrative of joblessness used to have a footing 5 years ago. But there's a shift that has been happening in the past 5 years to date.
Yeah.
And it's going to evolve as we continue. And that is the age of online social media and YouTube and the likes. People are getting opportunities on these platforms. It does not need you to have any papers. It does not need you to have godfathers. It just needs you to have resilience. It needs you to have initiative, and you're good to go. Nice. Many of these young people, you see many of these millionaires you see out here right now. Most of them are creating just content. There's a young man that my daughter loves very much. Channel, we actually love YouTube channel. That boy is barely 10 years old. The boy has a big mansion. He's bought his parents' mansions upon mansions and he's a millionaire. Just by creating content for kids. So I think it's just about finding the right opportunities on these platforms. There are young people who are writing articles online and they are selling them. They do not need any papers. They do not need, godfathers. That's what I'm saying. So me, I feel like anyone who says right now there's joblessness, again, we need to rethink. We need to rethink this thing of, it has to be mainstream. Yeah,
I have to advise someone who is...
May I just pick up something? There's a point also.
Yeah.
However, as much as we would advocate for this non-mainstream kind of opportunities, there is a big danger. There's a big danger of discipline and structure.
Discipline and structure.
Yes, that is something that these mainstream jobs offer to people that work within such.
Yeah.
But in the artistic world, there is lack of discipline, there is lack of accountability.
Yeah.
no one will pay insurance for you, like we do in the mainstream jobs.
Yeah.
You know, they are called statutory deductions.
Yeah.
It comes to tell you, you pay your health insurance.
Yeah.
You pay your, you call it retirement, whatever.
Yeah, NSSF.
So you might, exactly. So you might get your 1 million and you squander it in, lifestyle, kind of happy, and you forget that you need to put some money aside. So there's a lot of indiscipline that comes with even financial management with such kind of opportunities.
I see. So someone has got to be circumspect in and of themselves.
Yes.
Okay.
Personal management.
Yeah, okay, good. It's one of those questions that I wanted to ask, that if you were to give advice to people who are entering in that field, in arts, them, what would be the qualities that you'll be looking at? You said you're a talent manager. What are you looking at?
I look at, first of all, initiative. Yes, you have a vision. Do you have a vision, and are you working towards it? So that we don't say that you're chasing a particular dream, but anything small, a small, earthquake or a tremor, it makes you lose your footing, and you start running now to being a lawyer again, and you forget what you are set out to do. So it's not about the resilience, it's all about vision, but also the knack to want to keep improving yourself.
Okay.
Don't go into comfort zones.
Okay.
We have people who have started as actors, but then that's kind of watching in 2019.
Yeah.
He is the same person.
Yeah.
You don't feel growth. You don't feel like,
Yeah.
So that's what I go for when I'm looking at them. And then now, lastly, you need to be a person who's also just investing in yourself in terms of equipping yourself.
Yeah.
You have the basic tools of an actor.
Yeah.
You have the basic tools of an artist. And basic tools I'm talking about, you have a profile.
Yeah.
When Steven Spielberg just ambushes me and says, you're an actor, give me something about yourself. You know how we usually say you're given an opportunity with the president, you call them, how many minutes to play the elevator pitch?
Yeah.
Right? Do you have your info to pitch yourself? And you see now for an actor, these things, you don't get to speak to them. You get to showcase them. So we would do you have that small video that shows your acting chops?
Yeah, that's what you're calling a profile.
A profile.
Yeah, okay.
That when I just skim through it, I can see what you've done.
Yeah.
Who you've worked with.
Yeah.
In one page.
Yeah.
And then we have now the brief bio, a bio that is like 2 paragraphs.
Yeah.
That says in general who you are, what your aspirations are, and
yeah,
how you intend to change the world with your acting skills.
Yeah.
Number 3, do you have your portfolio? You just show your photo and then someone says, this guy looks exactly like what I'm looking for.
Exactly. Yeah.
And not just any photos, but professional studio photos.
Yeah.
Don't send me selfies. Or background is over traffic. Or a restaurant. And lastly, Kabisa, do you have a small video? 3 minutes maximum.
How many minutes?
Or you just showed 3 minutes maximum.
15?
3
minutes. Yeah.
3 minutes, yes.
Okay.
Because again, I don't want to get bored watching 15 minutes or 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? But in those 3 minutes, show me that you can express yourself. And you can go into anger. You can convey anxiety in 3 minutes.
I see.
And when I see that, my friend, I give you the job almost immediately.
I see. Okay, cool.
So those are the things that I advise my artists to always have.
Yeah, okay. Now,
yes.
One of the questions that I'm going to ask you even as we come to a close is the same question that my father asked those guys at Kenya School of Monetary Studies when he was taking me there to do my higher diploma. He asked them, is there money in this thing? Yeah. Is there money in acting?
If you look at Hollywood, some of the richest people are
qualify the question. Is there money in Africa in acting?
It is the same the world over. It is the same thing. You come from work, the first thing you get into the house, you turn on your TV, right?
Yeah.
And for you to watch that TV, you see advertisers on that TV. You have Safaricom, you have the Webers.
Yeah.
People are advertising every day, and those people are not charged dogo money. They are charged up millions upon millions for advertising. So that means in the media industry, for them to partner with the likes of the big corporates, there is the exchange of big monies. Now, those people who are creating this content for the Safaricoms to put their branding there, that means he's wallowing within money. The question is, does the money get to him? So there is money.
I
and
see.
by the fact that I have been able to be in this industry for this long, and having been able to stretch my tentacles a bit into the industry in different areas of management and production, and the broadcast, I have realized there is a lot of money. The question is, again, is it getting to the right people? Is it getting to everyone, every stakeholder?
I see.
And now that I'm a talent manager and I work with some of the biggest influencers out here, I realize people are willing to pay artists. The question has always been, are the artists worth the money they are asking?
Yeah, what's the value to be paid? Okay, I hear you.
And you tell me you're worth 10 shillings, and I'll give you 10 shillings.
Exactly. But at times you can showcase something that I will even say you are too expensive, I can't pay. There is really value in there because you've actually worked on yourself.
Yes.
All right. So why are you doing this, Peter? Why are you doing this? Are you doing this to get money?
Partly, yes. I have a family to feed.
Yeah.
But even if there was no money, I would still do it.
Yeah.
Because I believe media is one of the most powerful tools out here to speak to a generation.
Yeah.
And the only way to speak to a pedestal of self. And only, I usually use this analogy. Yeah? If Kanye West, with all his power and influence, puts on tattered jeans.
Yeah.
Tattered jeans in our local setup it's a rag.
Yeah.
That is something to be thrown away.
Yeah.
But because Kanye West is in the media and the people adore him and they admire what he does, and he wears that jeans and goes to each supermarket, then he has already validated that jeans as a fashion trend.
Yeah.
Wearing those jeans comfortably and confidently because Kanye West wore them.
Yeah.
So there is power in the media. There is power in us being in the media to change narratives in society.
Yeah.
And for me, that's why I'm here.
Powerful.
I believe I've been placed on this earth for a purpose, and it's to be the salt in my generation.
Nice. Awesome stuff, Peter. Awesome stuff. Well. Thank you so much for availing yourself for this phone conversation, and I'm just hoping that it's going to make sense to someone out there. I wanted to give you an opportunity to invite guys who would want to watch some of the things that you've done. Lost in Time, I watched Lost in Time some month back and I was literally blown away. That was
so much.
You guys were doing is it a mental health thing?
Yes.
It was awesome.
Mental health actually even just came as a plan B.
Yeah.
We needed to tell a story about fatherhood.
Yeah.
And also men who do not know how to forgive themselves.
Oh.
You live your life always beating yourself up and second guessing yourself and having a shaky relationship with God because you feel like God has not forgiven you.
Yeah.
But it's because you have not forgiven yourself.
Yeah. Awesome. So if guys wanted to watch the and by the way, there are very many films that are coming up, isn't it? In the whole industry.
Oh, very.
How many do you think we're gonna watch in December that Kenyans are churning out?
Are you right now? major ones that I am aware of. Actually more than 5 years, because there's Medicine Man, there's Christmas Love, there's Bangarang, which has so many awards all over the Africa and the world.
Okay.
We have so many films coming up, yes.
Yeah, so you were telling me, how do guys get to watch this Lost in Time and the other works that you've done?
For Lost in Time, we have a website.
Yeah.
Most of us are actually going online right now. So we have a website called lostintime.film.
Lostintime.film.
Yes, so you can pay via M-Pesa.
Yeah.
It's only 300 Kenya shillings. You can actually still pay via Visa.
Okay, cool.
But,
cool.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
It's how many dollars? That's $3? $3?
$3, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So even for the subsequent film that we're releasing this year, the same thing in the next 2 weeks, in the next 1 week, yes.
How do guys get in touch with you? They just get onto your social media, Peter Kawa, and they'll find you on Facebook, Instagram?
On Facebook, on Instagram, and even on Twitter.
All right, cool. All right, bro. It's been awesome. I hope we can do this another time. And thank you so much for inspiring this world with your God-given purpose in terms of media and entertainment and the arts. And it's inspirational in that it's not necessarily mainstream. So keep shining, and we are looking forward to seeing you on big screen and doing even greater things.
Thank you so much.
All right, bro. Good night.
And good night to you too, Ron.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Life Signatures Radio. If you enjoyed today's show, subscribe to Life Signatures Radio on iTunes, Stitcher, or visit our website at lifesignatures.libsyn.com. Life Signatures Radio, fresh, clean, and inspiring.